Yes, you heard that right. A tiny, unassuming 5-cent coin from Australia, minted in 1966, has stunned the coin-collecting world and ignited a frenzy among elite collectors. They call it the purple penny, but its true magic lies in a single, jaw-dropping minting mistake that was nearly forgotten for decades. The story begins in the quiet halls of the Royal Australian Mint, where ordinary coins rolled off the press by the thousands. On one fateful day in 1966, a small batch of 5-cent coins encountered a catastrophic error. The minting collar, responsible for shaping the coin's edges, had shifted just slightly. That tiny tilt caused the metal to spill unevenly, creating what collectors now call a tilted partial collar error. On these coins, the edges look almost liquefied, slightly leaning, like a secret the coin itself is hiding. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. For years, these coins sat unnoticed in circulation. Pocket change, vending machines, even jars on kitchen counters. No one realized they were holding a potential fortune. But the real shock came when a collector, completely by accident, stumbled upon one in a dusty old coin lot. The coin looked ordinary at first. Silver, 5 cents, no glaring markings. Yet, a tiny detail made all the difference. The lettering, the rim, the faint tilt of the collar. It screamed rare error to someone who knew what to look for. News spread like wildfire. Dealers were rushing to get their hands on this coin, desperate to claim a piece of history. Auctions erupted in chaos. What had once been a modest Australian 5-cent piece now had whispers of being valued in the millions. One auction house even reported a hammer price approaching $1.7 million, a mind-blowing number for a coin that, at first glance, looked like everyday change. It's all about the rarity and the error. Most coins are struck perfectly, uniform, predictable, but the purple penny defies that. Its misaligned edge is not just a flaw. It's a fingerprint of an unrepeatable moment in minting history. Collectors describe it as a perfect imperfection, a moment where human error and mechanical precision collided to create something truly priceless. Imagine holding one in your hand. The metal feels ordinary, cold, yet it carries a story that spans decades. One man's pocket change became a million-dollar miracle, hidden in plain sight. And this is where the suspense gets even darker. Some coins have faded, others were polished, and most were lost entirely. Only a tiny handful remain in pristine condition, the kind that can fetch seven-figure sums at auction. But there's more. The purple penny isn't just valuable because of its rarity. There's an aura of mystery surrounding it. Many collectors report that even when they examine it, their eyes can't quite believe what they're seeing. The tilt is subtle but unmistakable, almost as if the coin refuses to reveal all its secrets at once. And one dealer revealed in an exclusive interview that spotting an authentic 1966 tilted partial collar coin is like looking for a single star in a sky full of twinkling lights. You can sense it, but only the trained eye will recognize it. And then came the unbelievable auction stories. One coin, discovered in a jar of change in a retired teacher's home, went from being tossed on a table to a global spectacle watched by millionaires and museum curators alike. Phones rang off the hook, emails flooded in from around the world, and within hours, that small coin had a bid that shattered previous records. The news headlines read, Australian 5-cent coin sells for nearly $1.7 million. And the coin world collectively gasped. Collectors were shocked not just by the price, but by the sheer improbability of it. A coin minted in 1966, worth so little in its early years, now commanding millions. The story became a beacon of hope for everyday coin enthusiasts. It whispered a tantalizing possibility. Maybe, just maybe, your pocket change could hold a fortune of unimaginable proportions. These are the signs that separate a standard coin from a tilted partial collar error. And beware of common mistakes. Some coins may appear similar, but only the true 1966 Australian Mint issue has the precise combination of tilt, partial collar, and unpolished silver surface. Even seasoned collectors admit that identifying one takes patience and a keen eye. Many have held a genuine purple penny without realizing it, only to discover later that their hands had brushed past millions of dollars hiding in plain sight. This tiny detail is why it's worth millions, and most people miss it. And here's where the story gets almost too incredible to believe. Some coins have faded to a soft lavender tone over decades, giving rise to the nickname, the purple penny. This coloration isn't uniform, it isn't intentional. It's a silent signature left by time and environment, a secondary hint for those who know to look. The subtle purple hue, combined with the tilted partial collar, creates a visual effect that's hypnotic, almost magnetic. Dealers report that seeing it in person can stop even the most experienced collector in their tracks. Now, imagine for a moment the emotional journey. One coin, minted quietly in 1966, passes through countless hands, forgotten in pockets and drawers. Decades later, a collector's curiosity ignites a chain reaction, and suddenly, that coin becomes a legend. Lives are changed, fortunes are made, and the coin world learns a lesson in humility and hope. The tilted partial collar error is not just an object. It's a story, a treasure, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Look for the slight tilt of the collar, the alignment of the lettering, the unpolished surface, and that faint, haunting purple tint. These are the markers that separate an ordinary coin from a piece of history. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. Every time someone discovers one, the coin world holds its breath. Every sale rewrites history. Every purple penny reminds us all that magic can exist in the most unexpected places, even in the loose coins jingling in your pocket. Trash, a small, unassuming Australian 5-cent piece from the year 2000, slipped from someone's pocket with hardly a second thought. Yet today, collectors are calling it the $1 million miracle, a coin that could turn a lifetime of ordinary luck into unimaginable fortune. And the truth is, it all comes down to a tiny, nearly invisible mistake at the mint, a partial collar error that transformed an ordinary coin into a legend. The story begins quietly in a bustling coin production line in Australia. Hundreds of millions of coins were stamped, counted, and boxed for everyday commerce. But in the chaos of mass production, an almost imperceptible misstep occurred. This coin, the 2005-cent partial collar, slipped through unnoticed, its metal planchet only partially constrained during minting. The result? A coin that looks normal at first glance, yet holds a secret that can make jaws drop in the collector's world. Collectors were stunned when the first example surfaced. Experts had never seen anything like it, a coin that was simultaneously common and extraordinarily rare. Dealers scrambled, trying to authenticate each piece, because this wasn't just a mint error. This was a whisper from history, a coin that almost vanished into obscurity but had the potential to reshape someone's life. One man discovered his fortune quite by accident. He had been emptying his pockets after a day at the local market when he noticed something odd glinting among the loose change. It was a 2000 Australian 5-cent piece, ordinary in weight and color, but the edges caught the light strangely. Curious, he pulled out a magnifying glass and saw the telltale signs of a partial collar strike, a minting mistake that meant the metal hadn't been fully formed in the outer rim. Little did he know, he had stumbled upon a coin worth nearly $1 million. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. That single discovery sparked a frenzy among collectors and dealers alike. Auction houses scrambled to verify previous sales, and whispers spread across coin forums and collector clubs. Suddenly, every 2000 Australian 5-cent coin in circulation was examined with new intensity. People were shaking out their jars of pocket change, hoping the next miraculous find would be theirs. The partial collar error is so subtle that most people miss it entirely. Without a trained eye, it could sit unnoticed in a piggy bank or wallet for decades. But collectors who know the secret can spot it immediately. The rim is uneven, slightly incomplete, and the metal flows differently around the edges. In some cases, the design appears slightly compressed, almost as if the coin was squeezed while being struck. It's a tiny imperfection, but one that transforms a 5-cent piece into a collector's dream. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on these coins. Some examples in extremely fine condition have been reported at auctions for astonishing sums, topping $2 million. That's right. A coin that once jingled in someone's pocket now has a price tag that could change the trajectory of a family's life forever. The idea that something so small and ordinary could carry such extraordinary value is almost unimaginable. The fascination isn't just the money. It's the story, the mystery, the what-if factor that keeps collectors awake at night. Imagine holding a coin that could have been overlooked, tossed aside, or even melted down, and realizing that you are the only one in the world who has it in this condition. That sense of exclusivity, that brush with a living piece of history, is what drives people to hunt tirelessly for these errors. But the journey of the 2005-cent partial collar coin is not over. And the answer is almost certainly yes. Experts believe that only a handful of coins with this exact error survive in near-perfect condition, making each one a potential treasure worth millions. Collectors who have seen these coins often describe them in almost reverential terms. One seasoned numismatist said, "It's like holding lightning in your hand. You feel the energy of a mistake that became a miracle." Another recalled the auction room gasping when a coin sold for over $1 million, a single moment that cemented the coin's legendary status. These aren't just coins. They are symbols of serendipity, proof that fortune sometimes comes in the smallest packages, and yet, many people will never even know they are sitting on a potential fortune. That's the real thrill. The coin could be lying unnoticed in a wallet, a jar, or a drawer, waiting for someone curious enough to examine it closely. Imagine the day you pull out your change to pay for groceries, glance at a coin, and realize that it's worth more than your car, more than your house, more than most people will ever see in their lifetime. It's the ultimate collector's dream, the very definition of life-changing. Look closely at the rim. Check the edges for irregularities, partial strikes, or compression marks. Examine the overall weight and feel. Collectors report that these coins often feel slightly different from their ordinary counterparts. Compare it against verified examples online or in numismatic references. And always, always trust your instincts. If it catches your eye, it's worth a closer look. One careful glance could mean the difference between missing a treasure and holding a fortune in your hand. The partial collar error has even sparked debate among coin experts. Some argue that this is the rarest Australian mint error in decades, potentially rivaling world-famous rarities from the United States and Europe. Others caution that condition is everything. A worn coin might still be valuable, but only the examples in extremely fine or uncirculated condition reach the staggering sums reported in auctions. That distinction alone is the difference between a modest collector's curiosity and a multi-million-dollar discovery. And let's not forget the human side of this story. Imagine the first family who discovered this coin, holding it in disbelief, imagining the life-changing possibilities. One man reportedly spent years meticulously searching through thousands of coins just to authenticate his find, and when it finally sold, the sale price shocked even seasoned collectors. It was a real-life fairy tale. Pocket change turned into $1 million miracle. The coin's mystique only deepens when you consider how few were ever struck with this error and how unpredictable its survival has been. Many were likely circulated, lost, or discarded. Others may have been hidden in coin collections, unrecognized for their true value. That scarcity, combined with the audacity of the minting mistake, is why collectors are desperate to find even a single example. Every time an auction brings a new coin to light, the excitement spreads. Dealers speak in hushed tones about condition, provenance, and the elusive search for perfection. Some collectors have even traveled across continents, examining coins in private collections, hoping to secure a piece of this legend. The hunt itself becomes part of the story, a suspenseful chase, a test of patience, and a lesson in the incredible rewards that attention to detail can bring. And the truth is, you don't have to be a professional collector to find one. Anyone with curiosity, patience, and a careful eye could stumble upon the next great discovery. A coin in your pocket, forgotten for years, could suddenly catapult you into the world of million-dollar collectors. That possibility, the real, tangible chance that your life could change in an instant, is what keeps people checking every coin, every jar, every drawer. When you next sift through your loose change, think of the 2000 Australian 5-cent partial collar error. Examine the rim, look for the subtle imperfections, and imagine the story this coin tells. The chaos of the mint, the error that escaped notice, the collectors who would give anything to hold it. And remember, it isn't just about money. It's about history, chance, and the extraordinary thrill of discovery.